Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. On this channel, we talk about life, how to live life, all facets of life, and especially how to live it, being guided by principles of God, by the word of God, and because that we know is the surest bet for everyone. Today, I really just to quickly do this episode because I had an experience or an understanding that I didn't have before now. Of course, you all know I'm an Arsenal fan. I mean, we've been with the club for a long time. For me, maybe since 1997, 98, that's like 28 years ago. So, and as you already know, we've painted everywhere red since we emerged the EPL champions. EPL champions for 2026 season. And all over the world, we have been disturbing everybody. I won't lie about that. We have been pressing neck everywhere, celebration from London to Kenya, Lagos, Abuja, all over the world. And, we know that could really get on people's nerves and the rest. But yesterday happened. We had a match, the Champions League final with PSG, and we tried our best. We lost, and that was quite painful. So for me, I wouldn't lie, it affected me. I actually didn't sleep so well last night, just rolling on the bed and all, and knowing that we were so close. This was so close, and it's bothered me. And of course, I know that haters will start saying this and that, which I already started seeing some timelines. I'm seeing comments everywhere, and that was the situation, emotional state I was earlier in the day. And in the midst of this, I told you, I started seeing images, pictures of the victory parade in London. Jesus, come and see people, all over the place, thousands of people on the street welcoming their heroes, giving them accolades and all. And as I was watching this, my mood just started changing. And at a point in time, I thought, oh, that means all that disappointment, the feeling of being distraught and all, it was because I allowed it to happen. And my mind really opened to something very profound, that people's opinion, people's, views of anything about you is just what it is, an external thing. It's only if you allow it to bother you that really makes it count. And so suddenly I was just happy. Then I remember, oh, we are still champions. So regardless of whatever people say, oh, this or that, they called us name before, butlers, this and that. It doesn't matter. We are still champions. And my mind went to other aspects of our life. Okay, let's say football is football. No, I mean, for most part of it, just banter, even though I see flashes of genuine hatred in some environment. For the moderates, it's just banter. But beyond football, it just occurred to me how, the world, the culture, the system, makes us, think less of ourselves, makes us forget our identity, really. I mean, you see a young woman doing very well, advancing, making giant strides, and somehow we convince this lady that, oh, as long as maybe she's to 30 or the early 40s, mid 40s, oh, as long as you have not married, your success amount to nothing. I'm not lying now. It can't be true. It's not true. We just make people, reduce them, their image, the way they see themselves, and we make them see themselves lesser than they actually are. And so today, just opened my mind that no, we shouldn't give people that level of power over our lives. We need really for us to live a very peaceable life, which this channel is focused on, a life of a victorious life, a purposeful life. We can't afford to give such an important part of our lives to our sources to people that make their opinion shape how we see ourselves, how we see our goal, our standing, and most importantly, how God sees us. It should not happen. I mean, I felt victim today, but I've corrected myself. It doesn't matter whatever the traducers say. It doesn't matter. We just need, to be focused on what's our own goal at our own vision. In many ways, somebody is doing great things in 100% of situations in his or her life, and only 1/5 the 5% or 10% that probably the person is still managing an issue, then we make them, amplify that 5-10% and make them forget the blessings of the other 90% where God has shown tremendous, favor unto their life. That should not be. I think we should not allow that to happen anymore. My mind, as I was thinking about all these things, my mind went to what's that thing again? About the temptation of Jesus Christ. Immediately after it was confirmed that, oh, this is the real Son of God, he went to the wilderness and all. And what happened? The very first thing, the three temptations recorded in the Bible, all about identity. That if you know you are the child of God, do this. If you are sure you are the guy, why was Satan trying to make him doubt, his real identity? Of course, he didn't fall for the trap, and that's what we must do. I'm talking beyond football now. Every one of us, we must know who we are. There's a song like that. I know who God says I am. We must know who we are, because for the traducers, usually there are two reasons they are doing this. First is that they are seeing the seed of greatness in us. They are seeing something that maybe that thing is not fully matured, but with what they are seeing, they know, if we allow this person to come to the full manifestation of this great seed, the result will be outstanding, and we need to frustrate it at the early stage. And so they make suggestions and make us to second guess ourselves, doubt ourselves, and no, that we must not allow. The other one is that maybe the person is also failing a certain part. The enemies, the traducers, are failing in certain parts and trying to bring us down, make them feel better about themselves. Again, we should not, allow them to do this. For me, I think there are two places that we need to be. The first place is to be, with those who really support us. I'm not saying there cannot be constructive criticism, and it's very easy to tell. For the constructive criticism, the person will point out the specific area. This, if you touch this, if you make this faster, if you tweak this like this, it will all come out fine. And you will see that that person is actually talking to a specific aspect, because that person wants you to be better. That is, we need that, because we all need to grow. We cannot always, constantly remain in our comfort zone. We need to grow. So that is needed, that is allowable. And usually those people don't just say, portray the negatives alone, the negative issues alone. They also show us where we are doing fine and where we need those kind of people in our life, in our corner, in our team. And most importantly, they always want us to grow. They always want us to rise. I remember I watched the interview of so I also watch not only football, I also watch combat sports, MMA, and I watched this interview of what's the name of this Cameroonian guy, Ngannou, Francis Ngannou. When in the earlier part of his professional career, he lost a fight to Miocic Stipe. I think that's his name. He lost a fight to him, and he was so distraught, he was so disappointed in himself, and said he couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He was just like, oh, I lost him. How am I going to walk outside? They will make fun of me and this and that. It was in that low point that he decided to take a trip to Cameroon. As soon as he touched down in Cameroon, guess what happened? Everywhere they started, praising. They just saw him, Ngannou. They were praising him. They were dancing, jumping, trying to take pictures with him. Man, my guy was confused. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, they were just shouting his name. You guys don't understand. The fight. I said, no, you didn't lose any fight. As far as we are concerned, you are our champion. For you to have walked your way, packing sand somewhere in Cameroon, and all the way fighting for the biggest promotion, which is the UFC, and mixed martial art promotion, then you are our champion. And that really touched his heart, touched him, and he galvanized him, to try harder. Of course, if you follow mixed martial arts, you will know that Ngannou eventually won the heavyweight champion UFC heavyweight belt, and defeating that same Stipe Miocic. So that's what happens when you are, working with people who really want you to have, and not just those who bring you down. Whatever aspect of life, they're just saying, no, this one is not there, but really, they usually don't. The traducers don't usually show us the way forward. So you don't need those type of people. And the second place that we need to be, which is the ultimate place, is to assume and take the identity of God for our life. Which is why that is important is that many times, more often than not, God's identity, God's vision and purpose, compared to our current state, they are miles apart. They are just miles apart. And so if you are not able to key into that higher level to know what is really laid out, you may limit your vision, your goal to what you are seeing, maybe the resources you think you have now, your education, your background, your tribe, or your country of origin, which all those things has nothing to do with God is capable of doing with every individual. And so the best place, first place to be with those who support your dream, those who correct us, those who make us better, and they always have one goal to make us better, not the ones who just run us down, make us feel less as we don't need them. And finally, is to be connected to God, who is able to see us more than our current state. I mean, someone in the Bible, I think Jeremiah said, I have, God sent him, say, I'm going to send you. Oh, I'm a child. God said, no, I have made you, even before I formed you in your mother's womb, I have known you. You are going to be a prophet to the nation, not just a child. And so the safest place to be is to be in that place where you are anchored on God's purpose and plan for our life, and which is usually far beyond our current state. And that's why people can, ordinary people become very great people, because they anchor to that revelation of God's purpose and they follow God all the way. And they always, those who follow through will come to that place, or place of fulfillment of God's divine purpose. And that is the ultimate place to be. So whatever the traducers say, and I've moved beyond football banters now, I'm just talking about life generally. Don't be limited by what you are seeing around. Just trust that word, trust God, and He will surely take you to the promised land. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Please share, comment. I'd like to hear your views. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Bero Bello, and God bless you greatly. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Thank you.